good morning, and good night. Thanks again for downloading the Body Snatchers podcast. And when you listen, stream, or download straight to your device, CastBox is your best option. Remember, if you like what you hear today, don't forget to subscribe and comment. So let's get started with Steve, Tino, Gia, and Jen with the news.
All right, guys, good morning and good night. Tino here with Gia. Gia, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Decent. The weather in Chicago is kicking my ass, but thankfully, Digimon has been holding me down since I can't do anything outside.
So the weather has been awesome here. Like, it gets a little bit chilly at nighttime, but yeah, it's been like in the 80s. It's pretty good. Pretty nice.
Wow. I hope a forest fire starts and burns down everything you love.
Now, see, the forest fires happen about 3 hours away, so I'm good and safe from that.
Let me have this.
There's a hill, like, a little bit away from me that might be able to catch fire, but it still wouldn't come to me.
Oh, Jesus.
But if it helps you feel any better, I have been, aside from school, staying inside and playing Digimon and Monster Hunter, so...
Yeah, Monster Hunter is going to be my next purchase. I would have gotten it right away, but I needed to sit on Digimon, and I have only done probably like maybe 20% of what I want to do with Fighter Z. So it's like, I got to catch up before I spend another $60. I'd Gamefly, but I don't know. It's like for fake gamers.
Yeah, definitely wait until you have the games that you have currently in a good place, because like as you know, I've been bouncing between Digimon and Monster Hunter. I'll play Monster Hunter for a couple of days and I'll go back to Digimon for a couple of days, and I probably should have finished Digimon first.
I know, like I played the Monster Hunter demo and I loved it so much, and everybody's been posting constantly, and it's not to take anything away from Digimon, but you know how it is. You know, you'll have one thing in front of you, like, you know that meme with the dude who like is with one girl and then is looking back at the other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's how I feel like right now with Digimon and Monster Hunter. Like I'm very happy, but every time I see a Monster Hunter post, like I'm looking back like, you know, you're looking kind of good right now, Monster Hunter.
Pretty much.
Just how gaming goes.
I miss the event, sadly, where you can get like the Aloy skin for your cat. So
stop. Those are all the things that I ignored. But I'm pretty sure that we're ultimately gonna end up doing a Monster Hunter show. So fear not, people. We will get there. I promise. It
shall be spoken of.
There's only so many hours in a week, and blah 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 blah. You know. So we do what we can. Moving on to Digimon. So I have mixed feelings about this game. I know that I have gotten a bit further than you. Before we started the show, I asked you where you were at. I think you said you're around chapter 10 or 11. I myself, I'm around chapter, I think, 17, which surprised the hell out of me. I didn't think they were going to go that high.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, and well, what worries me or concerns me is that like I have put in probably 65, 70 hours already somehow without sleep, since all I do is work. I'm looking at the trophies and it's like 30% done. So I'm like, unless there's a ton of secret shit, I'm kind of upset that there's this much story left, because I'm like, damn, I thought I would have powered through it by now. I kind of want to just get to the end.
See, I'm happy about it having so much, because as you know from playing it, all it does is parallel the original story for the most part. A lot of the same things are happening. It's really awesome. And by the way, there's only 18 chapters. I just kind of looked it up for you. So you got one more chapter to go, but I assume there's a bunch of DLC stuff to do.
Yay.
And probably stuff that you might have missed, like picking up wise.
Oh, not me. I've been super weak when it comes to doing all the extra shit. I probably would have powered through already, but like, for instance, like I got to like chapter, I want to say 16, and it unlocked like 11 or 12 like side missions like out of nowhere. Like I was just like, deep sigh, I have to do this, I have to, you know. And it's just them talking and talking and talking and talking. That's it. Like, one of my complaints about this game actually is I think that they talk a little too much at times.
But it was the same thing in the first one. Maybe you don't remember that, because that was, I think, if you think back on it, that was like my biggest complaint, is I would just like sit here just mad, leaning, like constantly pressing the X button, trying to skip through all of the verbiage that was happening, because it was just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, they fixed a lot of things that I didn't even know I had issues with, you know? So I figured like maybe they would have toned down, you know, the dialogue a little bit, or, you know, broke it up and put more cutscenes. So like the first, I'd say, dare I say, 8 to 9 chapters, maybe a little more than that, is like very easy. You know, it was for me, it was like stupid easy. Like I already had ultimates, you know, Digimon, because I was off doing bullshit.
Same.
They were talking a lot. There was like no cutscenes. I was kind of getting bored. You know, they had a few scenes because you're this dude. What was his name? Amazawa, I think is his actual name. And then you know rename him to like whatever you want him to be.
I think it was like Keisuke.
Well, that was his first name, but last name I don't know. I only remembered the last one. First name was too hard to pronounce. I'm too American for that, I guess. this story versus the second story, I mean, it's really not that much more interesting. Like, one thing that bummed me out, and I get it, I totally get it. Like, it's the same thing, so they want you to revisit the same locations. But look, I'm at chapter 17, and every location that I've been in, with the exception of like maybe two very small ones, it's exactly the same. Like I swear to God, like the coders are like, this is going to be great. All we're going to do is pick up the old game, spend some time on updates, and call it a new game. Is kind of how it feels at times. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, yeah, it definitely does. Because again, all they did was parallel the old storyline and add some extra stuff. So you just kind of see it happening from another side. So yeah, I definitely see the repackaged feel to it. But I guess for me, that just enough was different that doesn't feel exactly the same. So I'm able to look at a certain part of the storyline and be like, oh man, I remember this, where it happened in the old one, because it's been like a little over a year. I think I played it a whole lot when I first got to Korea too, because that's when all the DLC dropped for all of the the like sin based Digimon that you had to go and like fight.
Oh yeah.
Like I played a lot then, and then I got into other games and other things. So just having it definitely brings back the nostalgia from the first game. And like you said, it does feel like they just kind of repackaged it at times. I don't know. I enjoy it a lot.
It's a bittersweet feeling, because like the first one was good, and it's like, okay, like I really like that, they kept a lot of those same elements. I just think that they played it really, really safe. And I feel like part of that might have had something to do with the fact that the game they released last year was trash. And I think that they were like,
Yep.
okay, let's play it safe, but I think they played it too safe. So I don't think it's going to hinder sales, and I don't think it's a bad game. But if you play the first game, it's like, I almost want to tell people like, look, bro, you got to put a lot of hours into this just to get what you want. You might be better off just watching the cutscenes on YouTube from the first game and then jumping into the second one if you intend on playing both. It's kind of fucked up.
Just because this one, it's kind of like looking. I can't think of another game offhand that it's the same thing, but basically, it's like they took the first one and then remade it, but better as a second one. So they definitely did play it safe with doing the same format and just kind of reinventing the story. Like, first of all, the very first thing I noticed going into the digital lab is that now there's multiplayer mode. Like, I can go and fight other people's Digimon.
And
that's like a warning they give you when you first character, is that, hey, don't pick an offensive name because people online are going to see that shit.
Right? Now, one thing, I don't know if you noticed, but Miri, who's the woman in the Digilab, they didn't have this in the first game. So when you would, get lost doing your Cyber Sleuth missions and shit, like, it took forever to go through every nook and cranny, because, like, the levels look bigger than they actually are, which, the art style, I'll give them that. That was actually, pretty damn good. You got to remember the maps are actually very, very small, but there's still a ton of them that you got to go through, and they're very busy. Sometimes you feel like you're playing Where's Waldo, like when you're looking for shit. So it's like frustrating. And now in the second game, like if you sign up for a mission and you really can't figure out where the hell you're going or what, like, Digimon or person you're looking for in this big city, you just go back to the Digilab, talk to Mary, and Mary will be like, it seems that you're lost. Well, let me give you a little hint. And then she tells you, like, legit exactly where to go, because I know they got a lot of complaints in the first game with people who
forgot where they were going.
Yeah, like for me, like I would know exactly what I'm supposed to do, but like let's say I only had time to play Friday night and the weekend hit and I'm super busy and then work hits and I don't have a chance to touch the game for a whole week and you jump back on.
But on the flip side of that, sometimes her hints are fucking bogus. I couldn't figure out where I had to go, and she's like, seems like you need to go find a man. And I'm like, there's a bunch of fucking men in this game. Are you kidding me? Is that the hint you're giving me? It was, the part where you're supposed to be searching Ikebukuro and you're looking for the Mr. Nabbit that's running around. Like, for some reason, I didn't know that I was supposed to just leave the freaking shop and go out and just explore down in town. And I'm like going all over Kowloon. I'm going all over all these other places. Like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? I go and talk to her ass and she's like, oh, you're just supposed to be looking for a guy. Doesn't say where I'm supposed to look or anything. And I was like, all right, guess I'm just stuck here forever, not knowing where the fuck to go. And then eventually I figured it out, because I was just like, let me just explore town, and then ran right into what I was supposed to be doing. But I was so angry. But like other things, she has been like on point. She'll like tell you exactly what you're supposed to be doing. But some of the things, she's just like so ambiguous that you're just like, that's literally everywhere, you asshole.
She's weak as fuck, but she's also bae. Right? Now, one thing that I wanted to bring up, because some people are Ooh, I was about to come out real strong and just call them stupid. Some people don't read or pay attention or understand like instructions. So I've gotten a lot of feedback from people who, have been playing Digimon on amongst other social networks and stuff, with the Body Cat Snatchers page and all that. And basically it's like a lot of people don't understand how ability works. They don't understand how cam works in order to build up your Digimon. In order to get to certain types of Digimon. So say you've got Metal Greymon, and you want to turn into War Greymon. You may have to have, the ability for that Digimon to be at 80.
Yeah.
And in order to get to 80, if you have Metal Greymon, which is a transformation right beforehand, and you didn't have his ability where it's supposed to be beforehand, then you have to de-digivolve or digivolve into something else and de-digivolve in order to fix it. So basically, every time you digivolve or de-digivolve, those ability points are going to increase. The one thing to keep in mind, though, is you can't just say you go to a mega form, and de-digivolve, you're going to get a big chunk of points for ability. But after that, every time you digivolve or de-digivolve, your level goes back to 0, no matter what you're doing. So you have to build your Digimon up again and then bring him down again in order to get a bigger gain. You could be Metal Greymon. It could be at 50 and you need 80. So you're like, all right, I'm going to go down to Greymon. You go down. It goes up, let's say 10 points. So now it's at 60. Awesome. All right. But now your Greymon is level 0. So it's like, oh shit. Okay. So what happens when you go down from Greymon to Agumon? Well, because you left him at 0, it's only going to go up like fucking maybe 3 or 4 points at the most. And then you get all depressed and mad. That's how that works.
Well, see, and that's why I save my Brave Point things that I get, like the Brave Point, DC, B, and A's, like those experience point discs.
Yeah.
And I just save them for points like that. So any of my dual combination ones, I can't remember her name, but my favorite combination is to get the Angel Woman and then the Devil Woman one, and then to combine them.
Macemon, I think, where she's split down the middle, half black, half white, and has dark and light.
And then she's got 6 or 8 wings that are split opposites. Anywho, she's my favorite one to get constantly. So
I have her.
Yeah,
she's one of my favorites too.
I'm working on her because I have Minerva, the Minervamon one, the shield with the snake armor, and so I'm working on getting that one back. But yeah, I just saved those discs for that specifically. I'll power level things. Because they even gave you an experience share. They're taking a quote from Pokemon, or page from Pokemon. So you got the experience share now. Well, it's not really the share, but it's the boost one. And I just put it on whichever one I'm leveling back up. And then I go out and I fight some trash Digimon and I get the level up right away.
Did I tell you, not only did I get, Macemon, but I also got Black Omnimon and the normal Omnimon.
No, you didn't fucking tell me.
Dude, he's so fucking cool. Yeah, my normal Omnimon is level 85. And then my Black Omnimon, which that's not actually his name though. They changed it to Omnimon, Z-Lot or Z-Ward or something weird. I forget actually. I should have wrote that down. My bad. But either way, I got him and he's dope as fuck. So he's a vaccine type, just like Omnimon, but he's dark instead of light. He's got different move lists that transferred over from Black War Greymon and Black Metal Garurumon. He's so dope. It's actually easier to get him than it is Omnimon, if I'm being honest with you. So those are pretty cool.
I'm not surprised. Some of the new ones that they pulled in are much easier to evolve into.
Some of them, but some of them are I think some of them are harder. I have to go back to the first game and load my old save file just to prove that. But I'm pretty sure that some of them are a little bit harder because I'm in the midst of I'm really close to getting Imperial Dramon's Paladin form, so all white with the sword where he can one-shot kill anything. Well, I'm not that close. I'm actually probably 2 or 3 days away, but that's close for Digimon for what I had to go through just to get here. But then there's what is his name? Guillemon's transformation. Dukemon, is it? Or no, Dukemon, Gallantmon. I think Dukemon is in the Japanese version, if that sounds right.
I'm not sure about the Japanese name, just to be honest, and half the time I don't even remember their names. I just know that I have them. On
the TV show, he went as Gallantmon, and that was Guillemon's older form. So he's he's got that big stupid ass shield, and his sword is a jousting sword.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it's just the freaking pike looking thing, but thick.
Well, yeah, Jesus, it's not that thick, but I don't know.
Are you jealous?
Yes. Who am I, Steven? So that shield. we can't do a show and have him not be on here and not take a shot at him.
Of course not.
The shield's dope as fuck, and I want this character so bad, and they're making it like almost impossible to get. Like I keep getting the form that I need, and I've got all the criteria met, but the way that he's designed is you have to have your intelligence at a certain level in order to transform. And like I'm telling you, like I got his ultimate level all the way up to level 90, and I did the math and realized, like, you know, even if I got the next 9 levels, he wasn't going to hit the minimum requirement. I de-digivolved, went through the process again, and this time you can put your Digimon on a farm and like train the shit out of them, you know, on one specific attribute to get a bigger increase. So I did that until intelligence was all the way maxed out, and he still can't fucking transform. I'm like, what the hell? So the only so I de-digivolved him one last time, and now I've got him. He's still like on the lower level zone. But the only thing that I can think of is in the game, there's a couple times where, at least the first game, you had the option to get like a special fruit that would automatically like dramatically increase your intelligence. So I'm praying and crossing my fingers that like they have that in this game at some point. Like I see the option for it, but like you can't buy it anywhere. Maybe you can buy it after the game is beat. But I just want to get that and then use that to beat the shit out of Elijah and hopefully you.
Hopefully me.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you gotta catch up.
I like how you just slid that in there,
dude. I can't tell you like all my cards, man. I mean, I got some pretty dope megas, but I'm letting you know that I have a long list of megas already, and most of them are Digi Knights because you know I'm extra.
I don't care about your extraness. I'll probably kill them with like, I don't know, a gay ass Patamon.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, I'll
just to hurt your feelings.
Okay, until I pull out a level 99 Koromon, and you're like, why do you have this?
That's cool. I'll just de-digivolve them completely down until I can have a level 99 Patamon, and then I'll just have it like bubble blast you, and then you're gonna feel real salty. I got these knights, but a Patamon killed it.
I'm getting my Koromon up there just so I can pull them out on some of the people in the Body Snatchers group, like when we play online, just to be extra. Because like I know that like my squad is going to squash anybody. Like nobody beats me in those games. Not easily. You've really got to have some play time in order to take me out in a game like that.
Well, thank goodness I'll have the play time.
That's what she says, but we will see. Moving on, they had Nokia in this game. A couple like weird scenes with her. Did you get to the scene because she's like leader of the Digi Rebels or whatever? Yep. And she goes for like training in order to make herself better. I think it's technically a side mission
against the sister Sealmon.
Yeah, that was
the sisters.
That was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that scene.
I did too. And then they hang out with Mireille in the Digilab once you finish that quest.
I was hoping they were going to do more though. Like it's cool seeing them there, but like they give you tips afterwards. And I feel like at the point in the game when they're starting to give you tips, they're giving you tips on information at that point should be painfully obvious.
Yeah, but people are dumb. I'm just going to straight up say it. While you were like nice about it, people are stupid as hell. So yeah, of course they'll need those tips. Like,
well, people are stupid.
People like you and I who just sit there and like troll the shit out of things and have like, I don't know, ultimates already in the beginning where you can only have like 2 Digimon in your group and then you get an ultimate. So it's like literally the only one you can have because you're already like maxed your data. Like, yeah, we don't need that help. But the people that are running around with like 10 rookies, like, well, I don't know how to do stuff. They definitely need
that
tips.
Screwed me at one point because, you have memory, which is that restriction. So, each Digimon takes up a different amount. So rookies take up like, I don't know, like 6. Is it 6 and champions take 8 and I think ultimates take 16 and then megas take 20 and then some megas even take 25. So, that's a thing. But like in the game, they're like, oh, okay, well, you can have a max of, I don't know, 20, which is not very much. So like Gia's saying, you get that, that ultimate because we know how to play the fucking game. But that's our max, restriction that early in the game. So that's all we can have. Yeah. And there's like an area.
So like there's several parts where it's like, I'm trying to get through a fucking wall and it's like, oh, you can't do this. I'm like, why the fuck can't I do it? I got 2 ultimates. I got a fucking rookie. And it's because you need 4 rookie or higher level things in the group. And I'm just like, well, fuck. Now I got to go put away my fucking ultimate.
And then turn around and come back. Yeah, I was pissed. There is that. Now, one thing I will say that they added to this game that I really like is the hacking upgrades. They gave you a ton more shit that you did not get in the original. As far as like, did you see, like, I'm sure you've seen them all. Like the one where like you can speed up and you can go really, really fast.
I use it a lot.
Hell yeah. Now I'm so, like, my megas are so strong that most Digimon give me no experience at all. So like now it's,
use the security.
Yeah, security 3 and you get no random battles at all. So I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And then the other one that I really like is when I want to power up and train, you have access in certain areas where you can, visit like old dungeons. So you can do a function call level 2 and you can automatically summon a battle. So I can sit down and just summon like ultimates and megas like one after another and just totally rape them. It's great. It's like
wail on them, yeah. Get some experience. I like doing that also when I digivolve things or like digivolve them up. And then I'll just go and call up battles like that. And that way they get like 20 levels right off the bat.
Have you jumped? Did you jump into the platinum like cups yet, or rookie cup, or whatever the hell they call them? You know, it's at the very top of the Neku or whatever. It's the Neku, I think it is. Yeah.
The Coliseum.
Yeah. Have you done any of those yet?
I've done like 4 of them so far because I was using that to level up things once I digivolved. Because I got Cherrymon, I got the Crowmon, and I have like a couple other ones that are my favorites, and I was going to go for them anyway. So I just go in there and I'll use that to level up Digimon, honestly. But I haven't finished it. I need to go back in and work on that some more.
See, and like last time I played the first game, my whole strategy was like, okay, I'm going to go there. And it was pretty hard. I'm not going to lie. Like some of those things are pretty hard. And it's like I would sit there and, you know, get through as much of it as I could. And then at the end, either I couldn't or intentionally I would like let it kill me. And that way I could like level everybody up faster and just keep trying again and again and again and again until my Digimon were like OP. But this time I spent so much fucking time training and preparing for this that every single one that I've gone to, like I've beaten like first try.
Yep.
So I just beat the Platinum Cup.
Learn from the mistakes of the games past.
Man, right? But I'm curious to see like what kind of DLC content they're gonna have for this one though. Like I'll be really upset if they play it safe and just if they bring it out
and do the same thing.
Yeah, in the same format because I'm having fun playing it, but really like this doesn't feel like its own game. This feels like you know how like Final Fantasy X they came out with 10-2 and like 10-2 as its own game kind of sucked, but like in the grand scheme of things, like it was like a fun bonus round for 10.
Yeah, it gave you a little bit of extra story once you got through the terribleness that it was.
Yeah, like basically that's how this feels, and I don't want to be negative about it because I do like the game, but it's an issue.
Let me interrupt you right then, like there. This is nothing like that abortion of 10-2. Like, yeah, it could have been its own thing and its own storyline, and they could have just did it that way. And yes, like they kind of shot themselves a little bit by just making it a parallel storyline. To compare it to 10 and 10-2 just hurts my feelings. I would say it's more like 13 and 13-2 and 13-3, where it's like, okay, it's kind of the same game, but it's not different enough to like be remembered very well. Like I wouldn't compare it to 10 and 10-2. 10-2, I hate. Like I absolutely hated 10-2.
I like 10-2. Like I wouldn't say it's good, but I am saying that like I enjoyed my time playing it and leveling up.
If it was, I didn't though. Like I literally I had to force myself to play because I'm one of those people where I have to get all the endings. So I had to force myself through the first time, and then I had to force myself through the other 2 times to get the good, bad, and the great ending.
Oh, I did too, and then I looked up the last one because I lost my mind doing it the third time. I was like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, no, I had to force myself through it though, and it was like I did not like it. I think that if they would have taken the same concept with using the spears and everything to transform into different like versions to fight, would have been so good if it was its own game, not like a branch off of 10. I don't know, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But I don't hate the second Digimon game. Like, yeah, it is a lot of nostalgia. It is almost exactly the same.
Is it not just as linear? If anything, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that Digimon 2, I think that getting certain Digimon is more complicated, but the game itself, I think, and granted, it's a little bit of a biased opinion because, you know, I may be more experienced since playing the first game. That's certainly a possibility.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it's probably easier for us just because we did play the first one and we already know what to expect going in.
It feels so easy. I don't know. I mean, I haven't truly felt challenged the whole game, like with the exception of like a couple times. But the only reason it was challenging is because like they tried to do that shit where like they put a boss that's supposed to be way too strong for you, you know, so you're supposed to work your way up to it. But like I was like,
but because we grind who we've already gotten there. Yeah, so that's exactly how the Pokemon games have been. So welcome to my nightmare. Like I play them because I love it. But they're pretty much, especially because I've been playing since the beginning, they're all easy. There's nothing hard about them. Some things are a little bit harder. Some things are harder to do. But for the most part, it's just easy because you already know what to do. You know what to expect. And you're not going in blind. If we were to pick up this game and we had never played the first one, it probably wouldn't be as easy. Like, I could guarantee it wouldn't be nearly as easy, like, right off the bat for us. yeah, it would get easier as we played, but it wouldn't be like, oh man, I already know how to do all this
Well,
stuff.
time-wise, it would have taken us for a spin if they would have at least changed the maps. I'm so mad that the maps are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because it takes away from all the fun. Because even though I hated like the first set of maps, because it just got really, like redundant after a while. Like, oh, you got to go in here and you got to find Agumon, and Agumon's gonna be over here, and it's just like, okay, I'm so tired of fucking running around doing the same shit. But in the second game,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, like exact same shit. Like, like part of the time consumption was like, say the first game, that first area in Nanaku or whatever, where like you have the detective agency on the first floor, and then like the second floor, third floor with the escalator, Coliseums at the top with the coffee shop. Yeah, it's like I fucking knew where everything was, like for every single map. I already knew. So the exploration factor is gone, so that you don't get that at all. And it looks exactly the same. They didn't polish it, clean it up, add a different section. They were like, nah, you'll be all right.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the issue with it paralleling the other game. If it had been a different time period, then yeah. But for everything supposedly happening at exactly the same time, it makes sense that nothing looks different. Although I don't remember the under Kowloon parts being in the first game. I could be mistaken though. But I think that they could have made that look less identical to the actual Kowloon. Because, like, if we're going under it, it should look a little bit different, not look just like a upside-down version of the original map.
Even if they just changed, like, the color scheme, like, for that, I would have been fine. Now, one thing I will add, because we are getting pretty close to time here, is I do like they added that new battle structure where, like, so many chapters you have to go in, and it's, like, almost like playing fucking, checkers or some shit, like chess, I guess. Like, you get a set of Digimon, and you have teammates that come with you, and they've got their set of Digimon. And you can't heal them with any items. You can't switch the Digimon out once it starts, and you're going up.
And it's one round at a time.
Yeah, and you've got to hit like I just finished one tonight where actually in order to win the map, you had to get at least 50 points to win.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. And then there's another section where they've got you'll go into like a small mini map. Now these mini maps are new, but like once you play one, you've played them all. They're all the fucking same. But basically, like you've got to go around and play capture the flag, kind of. So you go around, you beat somebody, and you've got to, go through and get these little flags. Fuck it, we'll just call them flags. I forget the exact name of them. And as you're, beating somebody and claiming the flag and working your way towards the boss, you have the option to leave one of your partners at the flag to protect it. And most of the time, I don't do it because it's not necessary. There are a couple times where, like, you'll get close to the boss, and then it will steal, your flag. Now, you're probably wondering, why does that matter? Let me tell you why it matters. Some of the maps have a kind of like a fuck you methodology where like you get in and you go to, work your way towards the boss. And, considering that you're the enemy walking into this, fortress and they've got the advantage, every time you initiate a fight, let's say, for instance, sleep is the issue at this particular location. So you go in, you go to fight your first enemy, and you start off where all your Digimon are asleep and your enemies are not. So as you capture the flags, every single time you go into battle, your Digimon are going to be asleep. But if you capture all the flags and get to the boss, it will turn the tide of battle. So the boss's Digimon will start off asleep. So it kind of comes in handy to take the time to clear out the map. But I mean, if you're OP like me and Gia too, it sounds like you could probably just skip through it. Because like I know I did. You could walk straight to the boss and just rape him.
Yeah, see, and pretty much, so I went through the very first one because I thought it was pretty fun. And the very first one you do is paralysis. So I was going through, I captured all the flags, and when I got to the boss, one of the flags got recaptured, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just still do it. And it made it a little bit more difficult because I beat the boss on that one, and then I went back and I saw what it would be like if I had all the flags, and like the boss's Digimon were like 100 times weaker. Like, whereas it took me maybe 5 minutes to finish and clear him out, like initially with me having the paralysis, when I captured all the flags again, and then I went back through and attacked him. It literally took like 2 hits per Digimon, and they were just done. And it was great. Like, it literally took a minute and a half to fight him versus, 5 minutes.
One-way ticket to Rape City. And while I'm talking all this shit, I actually had a hard time with the panic one. Like I was, because the panic one, you completely lose control of your Digimon. Mm-hmm. So for like sleep, or paralysis, that wears off, but panic doesn't. So when you get hit with panic, like you have to have a bunch of those things ready. So I actually had to leave the map, get those items, and then come back. So that was irritating. That's something that people might want to watch out for if they are going through there.
Yeah, I panic sucks.
All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much everything that I had, on the agenda. I mean, there's nothing specific. I had some minor complaints, but at the end of the day, it is a fun game. And it sounds like you're enjoying it. And I'm sure once, we each beat the game, then we can, prep our teams up and battle on a weekend day where we have a little fun.
And then we can make a whole 30-minute video about how you're going to be crying about your feelings being hurt because I beat you more times than you beat me.
Yeah, okay. You'll probably be selling your PlayStation and switching to Xbox
First of all,
or some
I'm not
bullshit.
Steven, and I'm not going to sit here and challenge you without having any practical, experience in something like he did with Tekken and got his fingers broke. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
I'm not Steven.
You better Google some strategies.
I don't need to Google strategies.
You might want to Google some strategies.
I think you might want to too, just to be ready.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Then we could both be Googling strategies. You have to remember, we're both basically the same person. So
motherfucker. So we just go in there and it's like a draw. The first time we ever saw it in Digimon. I'll break my fucking disc in half if we have a draw. Mark my word.
Quit playing.
I swear to God, I'll break it in half. Nobody gets to play anymore.
Now everybody remember this. He'll break his disc in half. I have a digital copy, so I can't do that, but it's good.
Oh, fuck. I think mine's digital. Well, I will buy a copy. And, I'll break my first one. My first one was on a disc, and I still have that game. So I'll break that one. Something's getting broken. So, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We got a couple interviews coming up. Next week, we have Black Panther. So tune in for that. I'm super excited for that. So I'm going to try to brush up on...
I'm the wokest black person ever right now.
You said what?
I said I'm the wokest black person ever right now for that movie.
Oh, my God.
More woke than the fake fans.
I want to get excited. The fake fans are killing me. But at the end of the day, I don't have time for that. I'm super excited, fanboying out, and I can't wait. So it's going to be a really good show. Make sure you guys tune in, subscribe, tell your friends. Check us out, bodysnatcherspodcast.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now on Snapchat. So
hey.
I know, right? Got all the snaps.
You get to see Tino and all his movie making skills.
Trying to get in them DMs.
Hey.
All right, guys, from myself, Gia, Steven, and John, have a good night.
Good night.